Good morning and happy Thursday. Kind of our Friday. Today's Friday. I won't be trading tomorrow. We're going to do a family day. I love that trading offers us that freedom, so I will take it and I will spend time with my family. So the first thing I'm seeing when we log in today is, oh my God, we're going to fill the gap. It's always one of my favorite things since trading. One of my favorite liquidity pools is the new week opening gap. And we are coming towards that. However, ES has a daily right below, so we might not fill the gap all the way. We might come into the daily first and have a little retracement. But however, we will get to market stuff in a couple minutes. The first thing we're going to do, which is always my favorite part, is we're going to do our journaling. So everybody get your journal out. I got mine. And we are going to open to a new page. And then the first thing we're going to do, as always, is put in the date. Pre-market. So I always suggest using pen and paper because it's a much more authentic way to write, especially when we're writing out our feelings and our intentions. Using our hands and a piece of paper with something tangible, I find to be much more effective. I do really like typing on the keyboard, so I use that mostly for creative stuff when I just want it to flow and have that professional ease. But if we are working with our feelings and our emotions, I always suggest pen and paper. Plus, you'll have a little journal that you can flip through all the pages and go back and just read any point of progress that kind of feels right as you're touching it. So that's why I love journals. And for our journaling, always what we're working on is reprogramming our subconscious mind. So the way we write our journals is we write our intentions as if they've actually already happened. So we put them in the past tense. And we also add, the best thing that we can add is a little piece of gratefulness or appreciation towards ourselves, because that is really what makes these intentions so potent, is that feeling and frequency of gratitude that we add to each one of our intentions for the trading session. So if everyone has their pens and stuff ready, let's go. Is everybody done or is it just me? Okay, I'll give another minute here. Okay, so here's my journal. I'll show you guys what I wrote just to give you some ideas, or you're also welcome to type in the comments what you wrote, because I would love to see what kind of things you guys come up with. Some days I don't feel like I write the best things, but I just write what comes to my mind. So today I am so grateful to have showed up to my trading session feeling great. Today, I am very appreciative of what I learned yesterday about my emotions and fears as I watched my setup form. That was a big one. Today, I am so grateful I stuck to my plan and took no trades, even though the market looks really juicy. Today, I am grateful I had the courage to do this in front of all of you. So thank you. All right, cool. So now we are going to do our prayer. The first minute will be silence, and then the next minute I'll lead us all into a little prayer. So everybody just take a minute here. I'll be timing. And close your eyes, take a nice breath, and offer yourself some gratitude. All right, so hopefully you feel as amazing as I do. That was a wonderful prayer. And now I will do one for all of us. So first of all, I would like to say thank you to me and thank you to you for showing up today and being willing to become the best trader that you can be by taking no trades. I know that the fear can really creep in, that your progress is slowing as if we don't take any trades. However, I promise you and I promise myself that it's actually the opposite, because the more that we can show up to the market and watch it and understand it is the more that we can put away our scarcity mindset and live in the abundance mindset. The market always offers us opportunities. So I'm grateful and thankful for everyone here and for me to knowing that this is the truth and this is the path. Thank you. All right. So first thing I'm noticing here is yesterday I talked about this here. And at the time that I was talking about it, I actually thought that it was an inversion and a balanced price range. But all that it is we come down, we fill this gap, we have a little bit of a pullback, and then we get an engulfing candle, come all the way down, take out a daily liquidity pool here, and then we just have all these buyers and all these buy stops being hit. So price just goes up as all those people are being exited out of their positions. And then as we come up with very low volume, then really what we're going to do, we're likely going to come down for this. This is what I'm thinking is our liquidity pool. So that will be lots of fun. We have that new week opening gap here, so you can actually see it on the 4-hour, which means that it's a big one. So we have a volume imbalance and we have a new week opening gap. We also have it on ES down, but we didn't really retrace as far into that daily candle yet. So we have a lot of bullish SMT between ES and NQ right now. So really what I'm looking for here, well, what I'm observing for here is we took out this liquidity inside a 4 hour. So likely it'll be something like this. And then we're going to come down. What we can do now is just mark out that new week opening gap. It feels weird marking out all our levels even though we're not going to take any trades. That's what I'm noticing right now. So let's go to our 1 minute. And we mark them out on the 1 minute because that gap really does happen on the 1 minute. You can, sometimes you can see it on other time frames, but the 1 minute is really what we want to use there. Okay. So pretty big. Not as big as the other one, but 375 ticks. And this was the low that we had made in it on that Sunday. So now that we have that, we can just pull it over. And then we took out this liquidity. Let's just put that there. And then now we have the last gap in the leg on the 1 hour. Touched into that. Okay, and we hit the last gap in the leg on the 4 hour. So I think that this 1 hour might serve as some type of retracement. And then down to the 15. So we have this really obvious one here. Oh, it's actually an inversion. So we actually have a balanced price range here. Took out our Asia low. This would have been our London low. So really our only liquidity down now is this. That intermediate term low on the 15. But it could be protected because look, we already have a wick in there. So we formed it. Oh, that's actually our new week opening gap too. Okay, so we don't really have any liquidity until we hit our new week opening gap. We've taken everything out. We just kind of have some fair value gaps there. 15. Perfect. Yeah, so really what I would think would be something like this. Fill the gap. And then once the gap is filled, then we'll go woo, or but I guess we'll see. And now I'm gonna look over at ES. So yeah, we have that daily below. We've got a 4 hour no, it's protected low. We have an obvious 4 hour low at 68.30. And then that also aligns with that daily there. Any obvious 1 hours? Just the one that's inside the daily. One down here. Looking at 67.92, and then that new week opening gap down below. And then just a quick look over at BOOKMAP. We'll see what liquidity we are being offered. I can actually turn on our BOOKMAP noises. So I'm seeing 25,445 as we came down here. We formed liquidity right here. 445 here. So right now that's serving to push price up. We might want to retrace. Yeah, maybe take out this 5-minute high and then go back down. We also might want to come to the discount of the range. Okay, so the discount aligns with that 5, so that would be good to go down. Take those, something like that. But I guess really we'll see what Market Open has to offer. Market Open tends to really like to just go right to that draw, so if that is the draw, we will know pretty quick. We also have orders right here, 25,500. I made a bookmap one yesterday. Template. Oh, there we go. Bookmap. Template. Bookmap. All right, allow me 1 second. I am gonna go and put my dog in the room. We have about 2 minutes here till Market Open, so we are going to do our breathing exercise. So I'll turn off these. And really what this is meant to do is reset your nervous system and bring in a moment of calm before market opens. I know Market Open can provide a lot of opportunities for emotions, so we'll just clear them all right now and we'll get to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in for 7. So we're going to breathe in through your nose for 7. So hold for 2. And then out through your mouth for 8. Okay, so in for 7. Hold for 2. And then out through your mouth for 8. And last one, so in through your nose for 7. Hold for 2. And out through your mouth for 8. Amazing. Ooh, so 10 seconds till market open. And what you all should feel now is just a little moment of relaxation. The more that we can speak to and relax our nervous system, the easier we can identify and work through our emotions. Whoa, okay, look. We came up and we took that liquidity in just one pop. Okay, so I imagine that's some type of Judas swing.
Sweep and Q buyers. Stop and Q buy.
Let's see what ES did. So yeah, seeing just a whole bunch of green bubbles there. Quick iceberg. Not so much on ES. Just a little bit, but it did swept one high. That was an easy one. That was super easy. Super easy and super obvious. That is one that I would have taken. Another thing that I was going to do was, as we're watching the market, I'm going to write setups that I would have taken, and then I'm going to write if they work, yes or no. I was doing that yesterday, so...
Sweep and Q sellers. Sweep and Q sellers. Stop and Q sell. Sweep and Q sellers.
So yeah, we came up and took this one, and perfect. Yeah, so now we really have to watch. So we have this obvious 1 minute here, and then we'll have to look over to the left. Ooh, that's far left. Just a tiny, the last gap in the leg on the 15. I guess so. Not really. So then now this, because this is the 930 wick,
Sweep and Q sellers.
then this is also a good form of liquidity.
Absorption and Q buyers. Absorption and Q sellers.
So looking at the delta on that move, it's pretty neutral. And then ES to the bottom at 68.30, we've got that big pool of liquidity that's still there. We were looking at that one on Tuesday, where we kind of just really moved away from it. We've got all those orders either back sitting there or they never left.
Iceberg ES5.
But yeah, if I was to have some type of bias for today, I would say we are bearish to that new week opening gap. And then here we kind of have some LR. Oh, I don't know. It's kind of steep. Usually it's not that steep.
Iceberg ES5. Stop ES sell. Stop and Q sell. Sweep and Q sellers.
So now we're coming down to that 1 hour. We haven't touched that 1 hour yet, so... Oh. But we also have 25 minutes till the candle closes, so we could come all the way down. We could come all the way down, tap into here, and then still hold that candle body close. So that's one thing that I've really noticed, is that the market really respects time. So that if we have a gap that we haven't touched yet, generally the first touch will come in and we'll hold it with the body. And then if we're going to break it, the next tap will break it. But it's very rare that I've seen, unless the market is just super, super crazy in one direction, that you won't even get just a little retracement from a fresh, obvious gap. So we'll check that at 10 o'clock. We'll see what happens. ES is pretty close to that 630 level now. And I'm not really seeing any liquidity on bookmap on NQ to below. It's just 575. There's about 260 orders there. And they're just coming in now. They're new orders. They haven't been sitting there for a while. So pretty big buy iceberg. 625, 375. But then when you look at the delta's still quite red. Minus 600, minus 300, minus 160, plus 142. And it just keeps going. So ES, like, it came so close to that level. It's breaking it now, it looks like. 630.
For ESL.
I'm seeing some orders coming in at 68.50. So right where, basically close to where price opened. Here, on bookmap. It's about 246 orders. So now that we've taken that 630, we took that liquidity to the tick. Now we might want to come up for that 6850 level.
Sweep NQ buyers. Stock ES buy.
Otis. Ball liquor. Also, too, that 6850 level could serve as support to push us down. Sometimes when we do see those orders come in, it pushes price down. However, normally it's a lot bigger of an order block than just 248 orders.
Stock ESL. Stock ESL. Stock NQ sell. Absorption NQ buyers. Iceberg ES buy.
So yeah, NQ is going all the way through that 1 hour now. We're at the bottom of it without much retracement. So I imagine we are going to go like this. Oops. We're going to go like this. And then hold that 1 hour and fill that new week opening gap. That would be my guess before 10, but that might be a really big price move. How far have we moved? So not really significant delta on this move up. It's very small outnumber of buyers, but maybe by like 80. 6% more.
sellers. Stock NQ sell.
All right, we're heading for the gap. So this line is where we've already come in. This line down here is where we've already entered the gap. So we filled this much, we've got this much left to fill. And likely as we come down, whoa. I was gonna change the time frame. I was like, what? That's the 1 minute. So he just touched it. Oh, he got a 15-second here. We don't trade the 15-second though. But this one could work to here. Did not work. Bam. Oh, that one worked. That is why we do not trade the 15-second. All right, so 25,300 looks to be some new orders on Bookmap. Just a couple points up from here. We're almost there, actually. Not that many, though. And then 68.15.
Sweep NQ sellers.
Which would be kind of the CE of that daily gap there.
Sweep NQ sellers. Absorption NQ buyers. Stock NQ sell.
Getting towards that liquidity. It's a really nice wick. Look at that one. Very obvious. Let's see how we react.
NQ sellers. Stock ES sell.
I'm gonna have to rewatch the recording and listen to what the dog sounds like. Oh my god. I don't know if it's just you, but every noise is like so loud in my brain. But it is good. It is a good test since we are dealing with the emotion of frustration and anger, along with the other kaleidoscope of emotions in trading. So it's a good test. So usually if we do sweep a liquidity or a sweep into a higher time frame gap, what I've been doing lately is taking that inversion before we hit the liquidity. I did that a couple times. So it's good to watch this now, knowing that I'm not going to trade, and then knowing that that excitement is actually not happening because I still see this liquidity pool right here. So I would be waiting for this 1 minute to inverse, even though it's not very good. The 2 minute looks better, but it's kind of huge, and I doubt really we're going to go up there.
Iceberg NQ buy.
Oh. So 6815 on ES. I'm seeing that pull in on bookmap. We're about the same distance away on ES for the liquidity as we are on NQ, so I imagine we'll hit them both at the same time. But ES is also kind of stuck in some type of consolidation because we got orders above and we have orders below. So 68.50 and then 68.15. So that could also create consolidation. Oh, we formed a 3 minute. But we've got all 3 minutes here. 5. First presented fair value gap. It's here. Delta's still looking pretty neutral. I'm not really seeing much. Plus 212, minus 226. So we could want to retrace back to the discount of the range, which is here. Yeah.
Iceberg ES sell.
And then also too on NQ on bookmap, I'm seeing a lot of like little pockets. Normally it doesn't look like that. It's pretty clear, but there's like little orders above and below price. So there might be a lot of trading activity going on that we don't normally see. But looking here from the wicks, the buyers are coming in and then the sellers are pushing it down. The buyers are coming in and the sellers are pushing it down. And each time we're really holding that fair value gap. We closed it on the 1 minute, but it was really tiny. And now we're going on the 2 minute. And then ES removed the orders at 68.15, so
Stop NQ buy.
whatever consolidation was happening. Oh, there you go. Oh, whoa, we closed both of them at the same time.
NQ buyers.
Whoa, okay. I would probably be wanting to be in on that right now. The thing is that the stop loss is very big, so. And and you've got 1,
Stock
and really
ES
another
sell.
obvious 2-minute there. We did not close the 3-minute. But that pump, I would have considered. That 2-minute pump, yeah. The thing is that looking here, I'm not really seeing much with the delta. Well, I am seeing buyers come in, but likely just to the retracement to the 50%, which we are hitting now. Oh, not yet. So this second gap here would have been a break even. Go break even. So let's see.
Sweep NQ buyers. Sweep NQ buyers. Absorption NQ buyers. Iceberg NQ buy.
So all along the way up on Bookmap,
Absorption NQ
those little
buyers.
splotches I was talking about actually were support. So it wasn't a lot of orders, but under every dip, we did come in and build orders to push it up. So that's very interesting.
Sweep NQ sellers. Absorption NQ buyers.
Didn't quite touch the discount. Oh, maybe on ES it did. Let's see. No, it doesn't look like it. No, just shy of discount. Sorry, just shy of premium. Now we're retesting it. Oh, we're not retesting the IFBG yet. We're just retesting the 2-minute below. So getting close to 10 o'clock, and look, you see the wick? We're holding that. See, 5 more minutes, but I imagine now we're going to do something like this. Or we could go right back up. We didn't really fill the gap, and we didn't touch it on ES. We just touched that daily. And I really feel like if the buyers are really going to come in, that the delta would be a lot greener. All right, this one's a banger.
Sweep NQ buyers. Stop NQ buy. Stop NQ buy. Sweep NQ buyers.
Maybe we want to come take out that 930 wick, which aligns with our VWAP on both ES and NQ. We still have a couple roadblocks in the way though. Like we got 2 5 minutes. Another confluence for that one would be the 10 a.m. reversal.
Sweep NQ sellers. Sweep NQ sellers.
Let's see what that looks like. Not really seeing any seller sweep. I'm just seeing two icebergs. But the delta still looks pretty neutral. It's like plus 266, minus 118, minus 110, minus 48. Plus 370, 78, 68, 344. Generally, when we're going to have like a really big reversal, we'll see a huge square print, like 1,000. Or like the other day, 2,500. That was huge. But now we do look like to be running out of steam. We are not having such full-bodied candles. It is more seeing more wicks. And price really is reacting to that 50% of the range. Yeah. Shows VWAP there, but VWAP is much higher here. So that 10 a.m. candle closes in just a minute. 4 hour. It's holding both those gaps. Close below this tiny one. Also close below this tiny one. And took out the liquidity and didn't really stop. Oh, okay. Yeah, we did have we took out the liquidity before market open. Yes, we were looking at that. Check our 15. So we also have a 15-minute above.
Sweep NQ sellers. Absorption.
So yeah, that seems to be all that we're hearing as we're going up is sweep sellers, sweep sellers. And now that we've really hit into that premium of the range, we could just go back down to fill that gap. And to hit those 68.15 orders on ES, which are already gone.
Sweep NQ sellers.
So yeah, this looks like a short. Let's take a look at what that one looked like.
Sweep NQ sellers.
So lots of wicks. I imagine now we're going to come down and fill that NWOG. I wrote it here on my trades I would have taken, short to and long. So what I'm really trying to do with this is just build confidence, because, and to collect data. So sometimes I see my trade and I don't take it, or the confidence isn't good, so I take it too soon or something. So this way, if we write it all down, write yes, no, then we really have that subjectivity and that step away to collect that data. So it's not like you're taking the trade and if you win or lose, you're upset or you feel unworthy, but instead this way, then you could just write it down and just look over it after, calculate how many wins, how many loses.
Sweep and Q buyers.
So yeah, we hit this liquidity here, this 2-minute low inside a 2-minute fair value gap. Closed over this 3-minute, tiny though. Rejected the 5. I don't know if this is a balanced price range because the fair value gaps don't overlap. It's like a fair value gap here and then a fair value gap here. If any of you guys know, that'd be very helpful. Let's see what that was. Sounds like we had a little tiny sell print. A little bigger on NQ, but tiny on ES. So just watching, just waiting. Today actually hasn't been so boring. Doesn't feel as boring as yesterday did. I am kind of feeling a little bit excited. Not too FOMO-y, even though we have had some pretty decent setups. So now this could be the continuation play off of this. Or we are gonna go, guess we'll see how strong that liquidity is. I would say if we close over every gap on the 1, 2, and 3 minute time frame, then we are gonna go up. No real big delta squares. So all the candles opened at 10:06. So at in 25 seconds and then a minute 25 seconds. We'll see.
Sweep NQ buyers.
No really big delta squares yet.
Absorption NQ sellers.
Okay, 2 minute closed. Now, unless there's really big pullback, that 3 minutes should close. Oh my god, if this 3 minute closes over this 3 minute, that would be a long 1000%. Oh my god, please do it. Please close over both of those. Okay, we got 7 seconds.
Stop NQ buy.
Is the buying gonna be that crazy? Oh, no, we did not. So close, though. We closed 1, 2.
Sweep NQ buyers. Absorption NQ buyers. Sweep NQ sellers. Sweep NQ buyers. Stop NQ buy.
So it looks like we are gonna go for that 930 wick to VWAP.
NQ buyers.
Sorry about the scrolling. The stupid VWAP always moves. Okay, so 450 right here. We've got a whole bunch of orders on Bookmap. 275. Perfect. Oh, sorry, 250. 450. There we go.
Sweep NQ buyers. Absorption NQ sellers.
CES. 6850. So those orders have been there a while. We were looking at those ones earlier. And now we are making our way there. 6850 aligns exactly with VWAP on ES. Hold in this last 3 minute. Oh, even the 5 minute close. That's crazy. But the last gap in the leg usually is the strongest, so we'll see.
Sweep NQ sellers.
All right, so 25, 400, 387. On NQ, there's liquidity building there, so those could be support. Let's see. Could be support, or we could want to take it. 387. And then 400. All right. We got a bunch of book map levels right now. And then ES is still, well, 6845 is coming. Oh, 6850 was just removed and put up to 6855. Someone really wants to manipulate that price.
Sweep NQ buyers. Stop NQ buy. Sweep NQ buyers. Absorption NQ sellers. Stop ES buy. Sweep ES buyers.
So it looks like on the other time frames, it looks like that 2-minute might close the last gap.
Sweep NQ sellers.
3-minute looks close to closing that last gap, but we still could see the rejection. 10-10. Okay, so we got about 2 minutes on both of them. So yeah, if we close over this 3 and the 5-minute at the same time, I have absolutely no doubt we're gonna go up there. We closed above our first presented fair value gap too. So about another minute here till it closes. Stupid VWAP. Let's see. Oh, might not even get the chance. $4.50. It's gone. $6.55. That is above our opening price on ES.
Iceberg NQ sell.
All right, about 30 seconds here till we close this 5 and 3-minute candle, and then we'll see. Okay, so we did close above both of them. So I would say we're gonna go to there.
Sweep NQ buyers. Absorption NQ sellers. Stop ES buy. Absorption ES sellers.
So ES looks like it's at VWAP right now. Let's fix this so we can see it properly. VWAP is right here. See what that looks like on the 4-hour now. And on the daily, this giant ass wick. Getting there. That's not one I would have taken though. I'm too big of RR.
Iceberg ES sell.
I mean, not enough reward for the risk. I mean, if you know it's going there, then. And Ryan says that he's become a lot more profitable since he takes trades towards liquidity versus always following exactly the model. Oh, we had a pretty big buy spike there. So 10.17 on ES was a huge green square. But the candle was super tiny, so that kind of tells me exhaustion.
Sweet NQ sellers. Sweet NQ sellers.
Those orders are still there on NQ.
Sweet NQ buyers. Absorption NQ sellers.
Didn't really see any type of delta change that really surprised me though in that move up. The biggest one was that 1017 square, but look at how tiny that candle is on ES. It's very tiny. See, if you would have just sent that, look at how big the RR is, and now you're in an area where it's coming back on you. And then we also inversed a 1 minute. So we really do need huge death candles to look like it's actually going to reverse, especially after these like really strong bullish candles. Moving slow. We have some liquidity here. We have a 1 minute low inside a 1 minute for value gap. That was so close to being swept, but just did not. NQ's also come down a lot further than ES has. But ES is building liquidity to the top. So 6850, 6855, 6860. So now it really does look like we're coming for those orders here. Not a huge change in delta though either. And look, we came shy of both liquidities, so couple ticks from the top, couple ticks from the bottom. So we actually we're between two conflicting draws. So even now, the delta is still pretty neutral. Minus 526 plus 346. So there's a bit more sellers than buyers, but on the delta change, it's green. And NQ is just quite, maybe bearish. So coming for that liquidity now, we took one. One was removed. Which one was removed? This one was removed. That 871 is still there. Oh, now it was moved down to here. There, it was moved.
Absorption NQ buyers.
My bookmap's a couple seconds behind. About 30 seconds. It's messing. 20 seconds is messing with me.
Sweep NQ buyers.
So yeah, 375. The orders are still sitting here. We came down. They got pulled. And then one was put here. Now look, we're really creating a trend line. See what that looks like on the 5. Not good.
Sweep NQ buyers.
Okay, now 375 is gone. So it came in, it pushed price up just a little bit, and then it disappeared. So somebody there didn't want their orders filled.
Sweep NQ buyers. Absorption NQ sellers. Sweep NQ buyers. Sweep NQ sellers. Sweep NQ sellers.
So now 6830 is coming back again. I am seeing it here. And NQ is forming liquidity. 25350. 25350. So it's a decent size. It's 152 orders. And it looks like it started out with less orders and now there's more. It's kind of getting a little more blockier. ES is a little closer to its liquidity though than NQ. And then we just had a really big sell square on ES. Minus 588. So let's see if it's going to want to come down more.
Sweep NQ sellers.
It's coming. ES took its though, so we'll see. Ooh, another big sell square. Minus 568, plus 92, plus 50, minus 498. So, pretty bearish now. The buyers are coming in on the next square I'm seeing. But it's just starting to fill up now. Delta change, minus 548 plus 598. The one before was minus 588 plus 680. So it looks like the buyers are actually outstepping the sellers in this auction. Yeah, I'd honestly, if I was waiting for a trade, I would not take any trade until one of these liquidities was hit. We're just in the middle of both of them.
Sweep NQ buyers.
So I might have been a little anxious when I saw the setup form and the time that we were at. But knowing and seeing how we're just coming shy of that really tells us it's not a good time to trade. So it's a good thing we're not trading.
Iceberg NQ buy.
Buy iceberg 50 orders. Still just sitting right above that liquidity. I guess too, if we come and we take this out, it's like it's the last 1 minute in the leg and there's no other 1 minutes here. It's just kind of chop. This 2 minutes been closed over. You still have this 3 minute, I guess. What was that? Was it a red square? Yeah, a tiny red square.
Sweep NQ sellers.
It says 328 there, though. I wonder what that means. Okay, so now these 350 was pulled. It's somewhere around here. Yeah. It was put just a couple points below, not even that much. And we have 337, but it's only 18 orders. So it's like somewhere here. 340.
Iceberg NQ buy.
So I imagine we're just going to see one really big candle down. Delta is still pretty red on ES, so it's like plus 38, plus 136, minus 208, minus 204, minus 128. Not seeing too much on NQ. There it goes. Let's see if it disappears again. Whoa.
Sweep NQ sellers.
All right, come on, big candle. Come on, big candle. I know it's going to be a big candle.
NQ buyers. Sweep
Okay,
NQ
Delta's pretty strong right now. It looks like we took those liquidities. I sneezed and kind of missed it. There's a couple squares in the way. Oh yeah, come on, big candle, big candle. Okay, so SMT ES is a lot closer to that, to the low of the day.
Stop NQ sell. Sweep NQ sellers. Iceberg NQ buy.
But since we didn't sweep liquidity, there was no valid trade here, even if we were trading. It was like an F setup. We closed over all the gaps, and then we reversed.
Iceberg NQ buy.
We even closed over the 15-minute. We closed over all the gaps, and then we reversed right before taking liquidity. So that is a play to stay out of. So minus 450, minus 348, plus 54, plus 114. So took out this liquidity. A low inside a, no. A low inside a 3-minute. A low inside a 5-minute. Okay, so now that this has been taken, we can remove it. So this 1 hour here. Oh, see, we look like we're gonna close below that now. So this is a 1 hour. I'm pretty sure this one's a 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour. Oh, that's the new week opening gap. Derp. I could label them. I just don't like it when there's so many things on the chart. And I usually have. Look. So many things. But I have resolved to delete what's been taken, delete what's no good. And that's been working pretty good for me. Okay, look, so we had a bunch of red squares as we came down, but as we came down and took this liquidity, we're having some green squares, but they're not as big as those red squares. And they're only on NQ. So ES right now, 815. Let's see. 815. Heading towards that. Yeah, we had those pretty red squares, and then we came back with some pretty neutral squares. Yes, the big candle. This is always what I witnessed about the new week opening gap when I first started trading, was that we would come into it and we would just like literally fill it all in one candle. And I was like, whoa, that is exciting.
Sweep ES sellers. Sweep ES sellers.
But over time, as I observed more new week opening gaps, I'm finding that we don't just fill it all in one. So, plus we also have this liquidity here. We still really could hold this 1 hour. We do have about 20 minutes on that candle. So let's see. So ES took that 6815 level. We had some iceberg activity. Oh wow, minus 1424. That's a pretty big red square. Did not see. I'm not seeing that on NQ. But even still, again, we came down. We didn't really sweep. We left this liquidity here. So now we got stacked liquidity waiting. We just kind of swept this, but I don't even know if that's considered a sweep because we closed below it. Pretty strong and pretty aggressively. However, maybe this here could be considered a manipulation leg. I guess we'll just have to see. No, it did not close above. Oh, that 30-second did. I'm really curious if we're going to close above that 1 hour again. We're pretty far from it. It's also a daily, but it's a weird daily. Oh no. Yeah. This one. It's a 4 hour.
Absorption ES sellers.
So let's see. Okay, big sell square. Now the buys are kind of stacking up. So 360, 200, 150, minus 330, and then 422. But NQ is just still pretty neutral. 166, 106, 136. I haven't seen anything too big on NQ.
Stop NQ sell.
So 6, 8, 10 now on ES. That's kind of forming below price.
Iceberg NQ buy. Stop NQ buy. Stop NQ buy.
I have a web conference at 11. And I did not get a link. All right, so it is coming to the end of our trading session.
NQ buyers.
And we've had, today was a little more exciting actually. I wasn't as bored. Excuse me. Anyway, I wasn't as bored as I was last time, well, yesterday. And we actually did have some pretty nice, pretty good setups that I witnessed and that I wrote down. However, watching them go by today didn't feel as emotional as it did yesterday. That 2 minute I would have taken would have been a break even, but you had the opportunity to take another one. However, it did not reach liquidity, so we also did not sweep liquidity. So had you taken the 2 minute, it wasn't even a good trade. Very interesting. I find that I do jump in on those, so that would have been an A setup, but it's not really A, because if we left our liquidity behind and we're reversing and the liquidity is so close, then I think that would actually be considered more an F setup. The only A setup, the A plus setup that's happened hasn't even happened yet. We're between the two sources of liquidity, and we really have to wait for one of those to be hit in order for our trade to be high probability. So really now this is where the high probability trade is coming in. I do imagine we will just have a really big candle that attacks that. But anyway, how is everybody feeling taking no trades? We are on day 4 of our abstinence. And I know that if a lot of you are like me, that since the day you've started trading, you haven't had a day where you haven't taken a trade, or maybe very few days where you haven't taken a trade. So that's why that's why I feel like this 21-day challenge is so important for me and so important for everybody here, because it gives us that chance to step back. As we're going through and making progress in the market, we can find that we feel frustration. And in that frustration, as it builds up, we may think we're coming into the market a fresh day, a fresh mind, but actually all of that emotional tension and emotional buildup is still there. So when we can take the time to step away from trading and just observe, then it really allows us to sit with those feelings of FOMO and sit with those feelings of not moving ahead fast enough, because we're actually still learning within this process. So trading today could have been pretty easy. However, we have learned a lot more by sticking to our rules and not taking any trades. So thank you all for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. As always, share your notebooks, share your your intentions. I would love to see how everyone's doing it. We only know as much as we know, so the more I can know and learn from you, the better.